He keeps telling us that property prices are falling pretty much everywhere across Australia. But from the day-to-day research that we do at Hotspotting, we know that very different things are happening. There are many strong growth markets to be found across Australia, and right now, a lot of them are in regional Australia, and that's the part of the market that's just not getting any media coverage at the moment, which is a shame because real estate consumers are not being alerted to the fact that there's strong price growth occurring in areas which also have the great advantage of being a lot more affordable than our major capital cities. Now, one of those places is regional New South Wales. Regional New South Wales is doing things quite different, quite the opposite, in fact, to what's happening in the Sydney market. As we all know, those of us who tune into mainstream media, is that prices have been trending down for the last, say, 18 months in Sydney. How much they've been trending down depends on whose figures you believe, because there's quite a lot of difference from one research source to the other. But different things are happening in regional Australia. In fact, most locations, according to our research recently conducted, have prices that are higher than they were 12 months ago. We've done a town-by-town, suburb-by-suburb analysis for every location with a significant market right throughout regional Australia. And we've got a list of 303 significant markets in New South Wales outside of Sydney. Now, 85% of those 303 markets have prices that are higher than they were 12 months ago. In other words, prices are rising in the vast majority of markets across regional Australia. And they're spread right across the state, from the Tweed Heads region in the north of the state near the Queensland border right down to Albury and the southern portion near the border with Victoria. The other thing we've found with our location by location research is that there are many markets where demand is rising. We measure every quarter sales volumes, and we look at the patterns quarter by quarter in every town, every suburb in Australia. And we've done that recently for regional New South Wales and found that there are many dozens of locations where demand is rising, because when demand is rising, all other things being equal, prices are likely to rise as well. So we're finding strong demand in markets like Wagga Wagga, in markets like Orange, in Tamworth, in the towns and suburbs of the Hunter region, in Ballina. Byron Bay is a vibrant market. There's growth right across regional New South Wales and the coastal markets, and then some of the major inland centres as well. Humble locations that don't ever get much attention from property investors or from media, such as Parkes, famous for the Dish radio telescope, but soon to become a more important regional town because of the inland rail link that's now under construction, and Parkes is going to be a very important part in that link. It's going to be very strategic. It already is strategic in terms of its location in regional Australia, but it's going to become more so. So our newly published edition of the Top 5 Regional Australian Hotspots report highlights locations like Parkes and many others where we believe there are great prospects for investors to buy affordably, good rental yields, and prospects for growth because of the economic forces that underpin these places that we highlight, and the rising demands in the market. So I urge you to get a copy of the New South Wales Regional Hotspots report, because it will alert you to locations where some very positive things are happening, quite contrary to what media is telling us on a daily basis about markets being down and people are no longer buying. Well, certainly in these markets that we highlight, the markets are buoyant, demand is rising, prices are rising, the underlying economy is strong. And the hardest part in arriving at this report was picking just 5 locations in regional New South Wales, because as I've highlighted in this commentary, there are many dozens of places where demand is rising and prices are significantly higher than they were 12 months ago, including some locations where prices are more than 20% higher than they were 12 months ago. So get a copy of that report, read it, and maybe take some action. Get yourself a property in a strong regional market in New South Wales, where the underlying economy overall continues to be extremely strong. That's it for now. Terry Ryder from Hotspotting signing off. Let's talk again soon.